guys, what's up? Welcome back to FaceTime with Felly. I'm your girl, Felly Baby, aka Felicia. And today we're going to get into my personal review and experience of AfroNation Puerto Rico Music Festival. Concerts and music festivals are just definitely my thing. They're totally up my alley. I've been to a lot of them. Let's see, Lost in Rhythm, Austin City Limits Music Festival, South by Southwest, Lights On Festival, Fun Fest, Jambalaya. So I have gone to quite a few music festivals. Oh, and Coachella, how could I forget, like the big daddy of all music festivals. A lot of people have had a lot of things to say. A lot of people have had like a lot of feelings about things. Good and bad. I'm not going to talk about anybody else's experience except for my own. So this is going to be my own personal thoughts and feelings about my experience with AfroNation in Puerto Rico. So I will say that I have, being an avid concert goer, music festival goer, this was not my first rodeo. So I had to, I don't want to say lower my expectations. That's not what I would say. But to try to be more subjective and less critical about certain things that, either, had like a little blip, like that wasn't really supposed to happen. Just because I know that AfroNation compared to like a Coachella or an Austin City Limits Music Festival, it's relatively more new. So I feel like they're still trying to work a lot of the kinks out and kind of get their feet under them. So I don't think it's fair to compare AfroNation Puerto Rico, which was the first AfroNation that they've had in Puerto Rico, to like Coachella. Like that's just, that's just not really fair to them. Sorry, I have like a list of stuff because me being, the Capricorn that I am, organization is key. So I didn't want to forget anything or whatever. So I will start off by saying that I did enjoy myself despite people being dropped off of the lineup and other like mishaps that occurred along the way. I did enjoy myself. I will say that. I'll start with the positives. The first one being the location. San Juan was absolutely perfect. It's beautiful. There's tons of stuff to do if you're staying longer than the festival, or if you didn't have a VIP ticket so you weren't going to the pool parties. Like, you could do plenty of excursions. There were a lot of things to do. If you are a U.S. citizen, you didn't need a passport because Puerto Rico is a United States territory. So second thing, I really did like the stage. I liked the way that it looked. I liked the way that things were set up as far as like having like the food really like far in the back because some of those lines did get pretty long. Having some bars closer up to the stage so people can stay hydrated, get a drink, whatever. And I just like that the food wasn't like super close to the concert so that there wasn't like, so many of like the food lines like blocking people's views or anything like that from like trying to see, or, there wasn't like a lot of like food, okay, there was trash on the ground. Let me not like say that there wasn't trash, but it was like cups and things like that. As opposed to not so much like food being on the ground that you had to worry about stepping on, if that makes sense. Another thing that I pay attention to, I don't know if anybody else does when they go places, is I like to know where the exits are. I need to know my exit points. I need to know my entry points just in case I need one. So I liked that for me, myself, could clearly find where the exits were and that there were multiple of them. That is a plus to me. I have been other places, to other events where there's like no clearly marked like emergency exits, and it was just kind of like, well, figure it out. And I'm like, no, I don't like that. Like, my anxiety doesn't like that either. So I did enjoy that. Next thing that I enjoyed for VIP was that they had restrooms that were in these, like, they're like little portable, not porta potties, but they were obviously like elevated porta potties, but they were in like these little trailer things. So that was nice. Definitely a nice VIP perk to have those, to not have to go into like, the honestly, porta potties are the toilets of the trenches. Like, let's just be honest. So it was really nice to not have to use those if you didn't want to. The lines could get kind of long sometimes, but it's like, I mean, it's a flushable toilet. Like, you actually have like a sink inside, to like wash your hands, and, toilet paper, yada, 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 whatever. So I liked that as a VIP to have that perk. I would definitely pay more money to have a nice bathroom anywhere, period. The next thing that I really liked was that I got to meet a ton of people literally from all over the place. So a lot of people that I met, yeah, they were from the States, but like ethnically, oh my God, like totally different from each other. So I thought that was really cool. I met other like African Americans, like myself. There are people from like Liberia, Jamaica, Haiti, all types of like different ethnic backgrounds. And it was just really dope to just get to see like the diaspora just like all being together and chilling. So I very much so enjoyed that. And I think, that speaks to what type of festival it is. I feel like if you're a music festival goer, you kind of already know that part of going to these things is kind of rolling with the punches. Lineups are always subject to change. Weather is always a factor. So you kind of, once you've gone to a few, you kind of get in the groove of like understanding what's going on or like what could happen. And that, yeah, sometimes like shit happens and shit goes to shit. That just kind of is the nature that is music festivals. That being said, I do feel like there are some things that AfroNation could work on to have improved our experience with AfroNation Puerto Rico. And so I hope that certain things do get worked on for the future festivals to make it a better festival. Well, let's move to the areas that could use improvement. And don't hate me, AfroNation people. I'm just trying to give like constructive criticism and some honest feedback about things. The first one for me was getting information about just anything regarding the festival really short notice. People were wondering about, the set times, and then like, the daily lineups and stuff like that. And we didn't get a lot of that information until, like a week out from the festival. So for people who were trying to plan excursions, that was kind of hard for them to not have had, the information about set times if they didn't want to miss, somebody performing. AfroNation after parties weren't the only thing that was going on, but I feel like other people were making their information more available sooner. So some people ended up spending money on those events, but then ended up wanting to go to the after parties. And it was like, but I just spent all this money over here, kind of thing. I just think, sending information regarding the festival a lot more timely is way better. Like, information about how we're going to go pick up our wristbands that, because we didn't get them mailed to us, would have been nice to get sent out, 2 weeks before the event. Same thing with like the info packet, which, well, I didn't even get mine, honestly. So thank God someone in one of the group chats that I joined, like put the PDF in there because I never got it. But like stuff like that should have been sent like minimum or like at the very latest 2 weeks before the event starts. I don't think that it's fair to people who spent their money to be sending them like very important festival information, like, a week and less before things start. That's just, for people like me who like get anxious about things like that and are planners, that just really drives us nuts. Secondly, if you're hosting events at other venues, to have better communication with their staff, of whoever's working the events, about what your expectations are. So the pool parties were held at Vivo Beach Club, which was literally a walk, within like the beach or whatever, to where the festival was, and that's where the pool parties were. Well, there were people who didn't pay for VIP that were just able to get into the pool parties because I guess the staff didn't know to like verify with people's wristbands, whether they were GA, general admission, or VIP. Now, me personally, like, I ain't no snitch, so I wouldn't have said any. I mean, I didn't say anything, and I wouldn't. But for people who, do feel away, and are kind of like, well, I'm VIP for a reason. That's gonna piss people off when people who did not pay, for a VIP ticket are now enjoying their VIP perk. It takes away from that perk as a VIP purchaser when you guys aren't ensuring that the staff at the venue is like up on game about what's supposed to be going on. Apparently it happened like for the second pool party. Some people started to get turned away, which was good, but I feel like, it should have been laid out like really clearly before it happened. Like, and I feel like that should just be a really simple, kind of like rollout of, hey, this is how this works. That should have been one of the first things that was discussed when you're publicizing it as this is for VIP only. If you're not gonna do that, then I don't see the harm in like charging people to get into the pool party who aren't already VIP. So charge people at the door, you know what I mean? Like, everybody can come, but if you're VIP, you get in. If you're general admission, pay your $10 to come to the pool party, whatever that may be. But have people check the wristbands if that's what, you're saying that people that aren't VIP can't get in, like, then make sure that's going to happen. For my next thing, I think that there could have been, I guess, a little bit better of a perk, something else on top of the pool parties for VIP. Whether that was like, some type of merch, whether that was like a koozie or, a t-shirt or, something, or, you get like a free drink every day or, like $10 credit for food, just something additional for VIP. Because other than the pool parties, like, and the bathroom, everybody pretty much had the same exact thing. And from what I've seen, people who want to be VIP, when they see that there's more perks that come with things, they will drop money for it. So I'm like, figure out what other perks that y'all can give VIP. And I feel like people will buy it because people like perks. Like, people will spend their money if something benefits them and they get perks. That's just all I'm saying. I know I do, and I feel like there's a lot of other people like that. Something else that I think should be improved is to clearly mark where you can have a water filling station. Because that was something that I was actually looking forward to, because I've been to a lot of festivals. I've seen a lot of people pass out because they're not drinking water. And like, hydration is so key because you're out there all day. It's, long hours. So to clearly have those marked so that people know where those are. People had to ask, I think, in like the Instagram comments, like, where's the water? And then they told people, oh, you can go up to the bar. And I'm like, again, that should be something that should have been notified 2 weeks in advance at least, so people know where it is. And that should have been something that was clearly communicated with everybody. Just because that's not something to play with. Like, people getting dehydrated, people, having heat stroke, that's not anything to play with. So that, for me, that's a serious one. Like, make sure that you have those marked. Okay, I know this was a big thing for a lot of people. A lot of people really, really, really felt away about this one. And I hate to say that I agree, but providing better lineup replacements if the lineup changes. So okay. When it was I guess maybe the Tuesday, maybe the Monday before the festival, I can't remember, a few days before, we found out that there were 6 people who weren't, coming to the festival anymore. It's like Tim's, One Day Cole, Ruger, Coffee, Beanie Man, and somebody else that I can't remember right now. And it was like, damn, like that's a chunk of the lineup. Like that sucks. And then the replacement was DeVito. Okay, that's fine, but like 6 people drop and we get 1 person, that doesn't seem like fair. Not that people didn't want to see him, but it's like 6 people, 1 person. Like, I feel like we should have gotten at least like 3 people, if not 4, just to kind of like even it out. I don't know the reason why they did not show up or why they, decided not to. I don't know. Shit happens. Again, that's the thing with festivals. I've been to plenty of festivals where this has happened. And so it kind of is what it is. But I will say that the festivals I've been to in the past, for damn near every person who falls off the lineup, they replace it with someone else. So I've never been to a festival where 6 people weren't coming and only 1 person gets replaces them. I've never had that happen. Okay, so then we found out the day that Burna Boy was supposed to be there, that he wasn't coming. Like literally the morning of. So we're like, what the hell? Again, I not blaming that on AfroNation at all. But the replacement was Rick Ross. However, like, I did not come to AfroNation to hear hip hop and rap. Period. Like, I came to hear Afro beats, dancehall, soca, amapiano, and reggae. Like, that's what I came for. So it's like, I feel like that is just like, I hate that for them that like that happened, because I don't know how hard it would have been to get somebody else there, like, within hours notice. But either way, it still sucked, because it's like, people wanted to see Burna Boy. We didn't get Burna Boy. Like, not that Rick Ross didn't put on a good show, but that was not the vibe of the festival. Like, that was just not the vibes that, like, girls was going for out here. And so, yeah, like, I don't know. I feel like that might just be a planning thing. Like, make sure that you have people on standby and backups. Like, because in the back of my mind, I was like, okay, we lost 6 people. We get DeVito. We lose Burna. We get Rick Ross. I'm like, what is Fireboy DML doing? Where's LAX? Where's Buju? AKA, Benson. Where's Joe Boy? When I'm like, where's T.Y. Savage? Like, where are all these people? Especially when I live in Austin, Texas. Buju, LAX, Wande Cole, all these other people, they're literally just in Austin, like, week before. So I'm like, Fireboy's been doing a, American tour. I'm like, they already over here. Like, what are we doing? But that's just kind of how I felt. I feel like a lot of other people felt that way too. Again, it's not like hate or shade towards DeVito. It's about the numbers. It's like, we lose 6 and we only get 1. That doesn't seem fair. That's where my personal issue is with it. Like, give me more numbers. The other thing I would say that definitely needs improvement, and just kind of didn't really help the situation, of how like the overall like vibe of the festival was the VIP pool party on Saturday got canceled, and so did the after party. That is a huge blow, I feel like, and let down for AfroNation. Because it's like, damn, the closeout pool party and, you know, the closeout after party of the festival both getting canceled. Like, that's not a good look. Like, I don't know what happened. It just sucks. And it does not look good, like, overall for like the reputation of like, you know, AfroNation. There should have been some type of backup venue or backup plan. It shouldn't have just been like, oh, it's not happening anymore, because, you know, now you have people who are like, well, I bought VIP, you know, and now I'm not getting that. Like, so there's people who do want their money back for things. Now, I am very much so, I get it. Festivals are like roll with the punches type of thing. But stuff like that, when something is just straight up canceled, it's kind of like, yeah, you might have to give like people some of their refund, because that's just not fair. Like, and that definitely, I feel like, dampened like the mood for me personally, because it was just kind of like, well, what the hell do I do all day on Saturday now? Yeah, it was just disappointing for like, you know, the festivities of the festival for the last day to get canceled. Just kind of like took away from the overall like joy of the experience, to be honest. Overall, I would give AfroNation, I would give it a C or a C plus. Like, I would say it was average for me. You know, it wasn't the worst experience that I've ever had at a concert or, you know, anything like that. I wanted to give this festival a B minus so bad, but I had to be real with myself, and I'm like, you can't, you know, with getting one replacement for 6 people dropping out, like having a non, you know, Afro beats or, you know, non-Caribbean performer replace, you know, an Afro beats headliner, and then with the cancellation of the pool party the last day and the after party the last day, it's like, I can't give you a B. Like, that's me doing a disservice to AfroNation to grade them a B minus. Because you need to know how serious it is that you need to like improve on things so that this festival can stick around, because people want it to. I know some people were kind of like on their ass on the Instagram comments and like firing them up, and like, I get it. I get that people were really frustrated, paying like money and stuff like that. Like, I get it. Like, when you feel like people are being funny with your money, like, yeah, people get upset about that. I don't think that everything was, you know, the AfroNation organizers' fault. I feel like there were things that were out of their control. And unfortunately for them, when people are already like slightly dissatisfied, like, you don't really have that many, like, you know, that much room for error, because then people are just going to continue to build that tension and like that jadedness or whatever towards you. So I feel like for some things that happened, it was like, like, it wasn't really their fault, you know, or how do you know if you can control this, or like, what do you do about it? And And I just kind of like, yeah, I'm sympathetic to that for them because either way, like, it's going to fall back on you as the organizer when people are upset. People want someone to blame when they're upset about something. So it's not a festival. I don't want to see this festival die. Like, it's Black owned, I think. But it's celebrating, African and Afro-Caribbean music. So it's not something I want to see die. It's something I want to see, have the fixes that need to be done and improvements that need to be made, and then just continue to be good and get better. And I hope that they do, because it is something that, I would like to go back to AfroNation. If the things get, fixed that need to get fixed. They have quite a hump to get over with a lot of people to like build people's like trust back in them. And their brand is AfroNation Puerto Rico. And I hope that they take this as a learning experience and, a chance to really like sit down, plan things out again, and really take the time to listen to what people are saying and make the adjustments. Because I feel like this really does have potential to be a huge, really, really great festival, especially in Puerto Rico. So thanks for watching, guys. This is just my take on my experience with AfroNation Puerto Rico. I will catch you guys in a couple of days with a new video. I am going to drop a vlog of the concerts and that I went to at the festival. So be on the lookout for that dropping on Friday. Y'all have a good one. Bye.